What shot do you give the Cowboys at winning versus the Rams?
8.
8?
Yeah, because the Rams are not playing particularly well, Skip. They're not explosive offensively. The offensive line is terrible. They're getting Matthew Stafford hit an awful lot, and he's turning the ball over an awful lot. So that's a recipe for you to get beat. Allen Robinson has been a major disappointment. And now they're missing Odell. Had they probably known what they knew Odell was hurt. He got hurt in the Super Bowl. They probably should have kept Robert Woods because I believe Robert Woods is a better fit for this offense than what Allen Robinson is. But that's notwithstanding. The thing is, when you play the 49ers, Skip, they are a physical team. And if you don't match their physicality, they'll make you look really bad. They'll run over you. And you see
Dallas Cowboys in the playoff game. Go ahead.
You see what they did. I mean, from the running game, you look at Debo. Debo running like, man, I don't want to. Hey, I hope somebody else get him down before I get there. Let me make a half-hearted effort to get Debo there. Man, I don't want to try to get Debo on the ground. And you see what happened. I mean, Jimmy G only had to make 1 or 2 throws. And let Debo.
Well, I mean, they're just little swing throws. I mean, they're nothing throws.
Right, and let Debo do the rest. Skip, it was a simple toss. And Wilson Jr. goes 32 yards basically up the middle. But they're a physical team. Now, the problem with the Rams, and we saw this opening night, Skip, is that pressure. We saw Buffalo just eat their offensive line up at home. Dallas has one of the best front fours in all of football. D-Law has been reinvigorated because it's like, hey, y'all just keep talking about I can play the run. I can still get after the pass rusher, too.
That's
now, yes, foot injuries, back injuries have robbed me of some of my explosiveness. But if I get one-on-one against a bum over here, I'm going to eat him up. And you still got Michael Parsons that can slide up and down the line. All these guys, Armstrong, these guys are making plays. They're a fast football team. I just sit back and watched them the other day. They flow to the football. They look like a version of what he had when he was in Seattle, when he had a defensive line that could flow to the football. Now, they're not as good on the back end because they don't have a Sherm and they don't have a Chancellor, and they don't have an Earl Thomas. But Diggs, he has tremendous ball skills. He has as good a ball skills if you'll see at that position. He's a receiver that really couldn't catch to the receiver level, Skip, so they moved him. But he has he has great hands for a defensive back.
He does.
So, yes, they have the type of team that could cause the Rams problems because here's the thing, Skip. Whomever starts, you're probably not going to get into a shootout, given the offensive line, given they don't run the football very well and they don't get explosive plays. It's either Cooper Kupp or bust. And that's what they've turned into, Skip. They've turned into Cooper Kupp. How many targets did he have last night? He probably had 15. Oh, my bad. That man had 19 targets. Caught 14 balls.
By the way, 14 career high in receptions for Cooper Kupp. Go ahead.
He probably spent 3 days in the tub, Skip. he got to spend 3 days in the cold tub. I mean, he had, Skip, Higbee had 14 targets. A tight end, man. Woo! Man, I wish I could have got me 14 targets. Woo! 14 targets. Allen Robinson had 6 targets. He had 2 catches for 7 yards. So, Skip, because they don't get any explosive plays out of the passing game, the run game is damn near non-existent. It's going to be tough. The Cowboys feel real good. The Cowboys feel real good. This is a great game for Dak to come back because it's not going to be what we thought it was at the beginning of the season, Skip. That ferocious defensive line of the Rams, the Rams being able to get explosive plays. The Cowboys, like, I know that defensive line, like, ooh, did you see? Man, they got 7 sacks. We should come out of that thing with, at bare minimum, at least that, because I like to think our front is equally as good. I mean, and Armstead went out with an injury. He wasn't even in there, the lion's share of the game.
Yep.
But Ekuban and Bosa, yeah, Skip, the Dallas Cowboys feeling good about themselves right now. Gross.
My turn.
Oh, you over there, key.
I'm not.
Yeah, you feeling good?
I'm not. I'll answer Jen's question right off the top here. I'll give it a 5 because I don't want to go any more than 5 because yesterday, if you'd asked me, I would have given it a 2.
Yeah.
But after last night, I'll agree. I give it a 5. The oldest baseball bromide that I was taught from my earliest days covering baseball was from the great Branch Rickey, who gave Jackie Robinson the shot to play in the big leagues. And that cliche of the line was, it's not who you play, but when you play them.
Yeah.
It should be whom, if you want to be but it
grammatically correct.
It doesn't sound right to say it's not whom you play. It's just who you play, okay?
Right.
The point of that is, during the NFL season, you can catch them when they're cold or you can catch them when they're hot. They're the same team, and if you catch them when they're hot, they will crush you.
Or you catch it when they ticked off.
Okay? And that's the question that I have about the Rams. Are they now? I saw Cooper Kupp talking in one of the overnight shows in the locker room, and he said, in the way he speaks, which is not very much,
right.
He just said, it's time for us to do it and quit talking about it.
Right.
We keep talking, but we got to go do it.
Correct.
Are they going to come out angry and take it out on the Dallas Cowboys? Because I will give you this. As an overall football team, every position, you've got Aaron Donald, you say he rivals Lawrence Taylor as the greatest defensive player ever. By the way, he didn't have a sack last night, but I'm not counting.
I saw the stats. You saw the stats on TV? Mm-hmm. No player has been double-teamed more over the last 4 years than one Aaron Donald.
Okay, number 99. Is he going to... Eli and Peyton got into it last night about wreak or wreak havoc. Well, it's obviously wreak havoc. It's WREAK.
Hey, not wreck.
Yeah, not wreak havoc. But is he going to wreak havoc on my Cowboys because of the embarrassment that they suffered, the humiliation they suffered at the hands of their arch division rivals? Right. Once again, that's 7 straight times that Kyle has beaten McVay in the regular 7 straight times. That you're owned by this team, except you got even in the game that mattered in the championship game. Okay, so they are struggling in every way, shape, and form. And I give you Cooper Kupp. I've never seen anything like this before. I still can't believe he gets open as much as he does to catch 14 balls, but I also can't believe how utterly dependent, how addicted Matt Stafford is to Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
He just looks for him every time, to the detriment of Allen Robinson. I don't even know if Allen Robinson can play or not because he just doesn't look to him.
Yeah.
So look at their 4-game target totals right now.
Cooper Kupp going over 200 targets.
Okay, well, he's got 54 so far.
In 4 games?
Yeah, in 4 games. And that leads the whole league by 7 over Devontae and with the Raiders.
Right.
By 7. So he's at 54. Would you believe that Allen Robinson, the other wide receiver on the team, has 18? So it's 54 to 18. That's 36 more targets through 4 games. Mm-hmm. It's absurd because Matt Stafford, when in doubt, he's just looking for, what does he wear, 10? He's
10.
looking for 10.
Yep.
And 10, to his credit, he's being triple teams,
Mm-hmm.
and it's ridiculous what they're doing to defend him because defenses are just saying, you can't have him. But if you really want him, you try to force something into him, and that's what Matt Stafford does. Unfortunately, he kept forcing, and he caught 14 career-high balls for a total of 122 yards, but the long was 18.
Right.
So not once did he gash you, and not once did he find the end zone.
They're not getting explosive plays, Skip, because at least last year...
And by the way, 18 was their long play of the night.
Long play of the night. But, there were times last year, Skip, that Cooper Kupp would have a 50-yard touchdown. He would have, he would have a 30, 40-yard touchdown.
Every time I looked up.
And they're becoming so predictable. And that we were showing the play during the highlight, Skip, that pick, that is tremendous film study. That he says, okay, when that guy goes away, I want you to go immediately to Cooper Kupp. Now, you got to believe, like, damn, but what if they do something? Don't worry about it. I'll take the blame if they do something else other than what we've seen on film.
That was beautifully coached and taught. It was
perfect.
It was perfect because he just said, nope, I'm not going to take the bait. I'm going to stick, and I'm going to break.
Yep.
And guess who? He threw it right to.
And he didn't drop it.
All right, and here's the anomaly stat of the night. Would you believe that the Rams last night had 73 plays in the game to only 49 for Jimmy G in the offense of the 49ers?
Right.
73 to 49. What usually happens when that happens?
You normally lose.
You normally lose because the time of possession is 35 minutes to 25. 35 to 25. Guess what? You went 0 for 3 in the red zone.
Right.
Okay.
And 5 for 15 on third down.
Okay. All right. But the 49ers weren't that much better. No. But all they needed were 2 big plays by Debo. 2 big plays and 1 pick six. That's all you need. And that's going to tilt the scoreboard completely in your favor. Okay. Now, speaking of the Rams, I dread doing this because I don't want to tick them off any more than they are. But we got to show the Debo play because Debo is spectacular. And I don't want to be a hypocrite because I would not want to have been in Jalen Ramsey's cleats last night when he looks up and it's like, oh, my God.
Debo coming full speed.
He's coming full speed. But Jalen says no mas. That was just like, I'll kind of show that I'm trying to get him and I'll kind of touch him on the
But
thigh.
for whatever, Skip, remember last year, Debo, look, The one thing that you don't want the ball in his hands because he's looking to punish people.'s not an easy guy to get down. He's not your typical wide receiver. He's built more like a running back because you look at him from waist down, he has a running back's body. He's not long and angular like the typical wide receiver, Skip. So when he gets the ball in his hand, that's why they put him in the backfield. That's why they'll toss it or hand it to him. He runs like a defensive back. So can you imagine now you've allowed him to get into the open field? He has a head of steam, and you know that body. Man, hey, I'm going to get to the sides, try to get you down. I'm not going to let you hit me head on.
He runs angry.
Nah, I'm good.
He runs to punish.
Yeah.
He looks forward to contact.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it. He did it to my Cowboys in the playoffs.
Skip, I've never seen a receiver that didn't have injured ribs wear a flat jacket. He wears a flap jacket.
Okay.
So look, I understand I'm going to take some punishment, but I'm going to dole some out too.
Okay, now back to Matthew Stafford. More and more, he's starting to look like Detroit Matt Stafford, who had that haywire gene in Detroit where he would just come apart. He's obviously got sensational arm talent, but now he's got 4 touchdowns to 6 interceptions, which leads the NFL.
Yeah.
What happened last year? He led the NFL in interceptions, so he's off to the races again.
Right.
He is going to throw it to you.
Yeah, but right now he's not on pace to have double the touchdowns that he has interceptions.
Correct.
And so that's the problem. And what the problem is, Skip, is that when he throws those interceptions, normally they're in close ball games, and he's throwing those in the fourth quarter. Where you throw interceptions in the fourth quarter and you're in a close ball game, you're going home with an L on your resume. And that's what we've seen in situations like this season.
He has gone down 16 times. He's been sacked 16 times. That's the second most in the NFL. My Cowboys have sacked quarterbacks the second most in the NFL, tied with the 49ers. The Eagles, shockingly, I looked this up before the show, the Eagles are now leading the league in sacks. So they're leading the league in just about everything.
But the Cowboys lead in quarterback hits, too. Okay. And they lead in pressures.
All right.
So if they don't get you on the ground, they're going to knock you on the ground even though you're throwing the football away or they've sped you up as far as pressure. This is not a good matchup for the Rams. They need to come up with a way they got to run the football, Skip. They got to do a better job of running the football because you're asking Matthew Stafford, Skip, he dropped back last night 48 times. They had an 18 rusher for 57 yards. Well, you're not going to keep anybody at bay. They're like, I don't care about that. Well, we don't care about no 3 yards of carry. We're coming to get each a quarterback.
Okay, which brings me, speaking of quarterback, to my biggest question and dilemma about this game. When we ask scale of 1 to 10, what shot do you give?
You want to know who's playing.
Who's the quarterback? Okay. And
so that changes for you. Okay. So if Cooper Rush is the quarterback, that 5 is a what?
It's a 5.
If Dak is the quarterback,
it's a 3.
Oh Lord, have this man said? No, my goodness, this man.
Shannon Sharpe. I'm being nice to Dak Prescott. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy to miss what's he been out a month. And get thrown into the fire.
After you saw that last night?
Against L.A. out here.
Yeah, you saw that last night?
They might be spoiling to get even with somebody, to take it out on somebody.
But let me ask you a question, Skip. Do they have the team, do they have the players that can get even?
They still got 99.
Skip, when they look back, Skip.
Do they have number 5 at cornerback?
Yes. And they had those guys against Buffalo. They had those guys against San Francisco. Skip, when they look bad, they look really, really bad. And in the second half, they don't score a whole bunch of points. They can do most of their damage in the first half.
They are rolling with Rush. That's what's been happening. It's Cooper Rush's team right now. So, again, I'm good to go. If you want to throw Dak back in just because he makes whatever it is, $40 million after he made $75 last year, if it's just a matter of he makes the most money, fine. But the bar got raised really high. So the reason I feel a little sorry for him is I expect him to go beat the Rams. If you're going to throw him back into the fire at the Rams, he has to win this game.
Well, think about what you just said. Said the bar just got raised. Now think of the bar should have already been set. The bar should have been already up there. Cooper Rush shouldn't have raised the bar. Ain't no backup should raise the bar on the starter. That lets you know
that's a good point, actually. I agree with that.
That lets you know
that's what happened.
Y'all had to lower the bar because you were the Cowboys.
Okay, but Cooper Rush is 4th in the league in QBR. Matt Stafford is 14th in the league in QBR. Okay, so they're rolling with Rush. They're confident quietly in him. Nobody's saying it because you've been through this in a locker room. It's such a thin ice of you want to applaud what the backup's doing, but you don't want to disrespect the starter.
Right.
And you have to be careful with what you're saying.
Correct.
CD has been the most outspoken. He's rolling with Rush right now, and it's in large part because for whatever reason, he's getting the ball, and he didn't get it from Dak, and he didn't have a great connection with Dak. I'm not saying he despises Dak or has anything personal animosity. That's not what's happening. They just don't have a good connection for whatever reason. And all of a sudden, as we saw Sunday against Washington, he was going to CD. All of a sudden, CD's 5th in the league in targets because of Cooper Rush.
Well, Skip, I just think I think it'd be hard for even if Dak was in that game for CD not because the Washington football team, they don't cover any receiver. Christian Kirk went for $140. Devontae Smith had 169. Who else? Everybody goes berserk. Or the guy from Detroit, he went off. So everybody's going off against the Commander's secondary, especially with Jackson, number 3 back there. Whew, he's good and terrible. But I just hope they got something. They got enough pride after that stinker they put on TV last night, Rams. I'm talking about all y'all. Everybody, y'all stunk it up. Now,
rise up.
Now, the Cowboys are coming out here with their whole little cavalry, entourage, or whatever you want to call them, Cowboy Nation, and they're going to take over your building. You just know it now. They're going to take over your building.
Your building is for sale because you can get those tickets. Am I right?
You absolutely can because people use, like, you want to see the Cowboys. Well, I'll pay for my whole season tickets. I'll just sell these and pay for my whole season ticket package.
You know, there are times when I'm moving around in this community we live in, and I get the feeling there are more Cowboy fans here than Ram fans. Seriously.
Yeah.
It goes way back, and it's deeply ingrained.
I just don't know how everybody became a Cowboys fan, man.
Uniforms. They catch you. They addict you.
Everybody.
Yep.
Maybe they just mess with me because as soon as they find out, I was like, who's your favorite team? Oh, I like the Cowboys. Get out of my face.
Yeah. They get stars in their eyes.
Whatever, ain't no stars.
On their
Ain't no stars, no stars, nothing.
3-1, baby.
That's all right. Y'all gonna catch this L. Y'all gonna catch this L on Sunday.
Well.
And I want you there to see it.
Okay.
And then you come back here and you won't be there. How?
Yeah. If Dak is back,
no,
break my back.
Gentlemen.
What you mean if Dak is back?
Break my back if Dak's back.
You get that man a 3. Y'all got a 3 if Dak is back.
Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Subscribe here to get the very latest from Skip and Shannon. Plus, go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.